Hi, this is Donna. Welcome to DD Paper Crafts. In my efforts to keep expanding my skills, I thought today I would try some different colouring mediums. I've stamped the same image 4 designs, and this is a hibiscus flower, which I think this stamp is from Hunky Dory. I've stamped this twice onto watercolour cardstock using this Finesse by Spectrum Noir ink pad. And then I've stamped the same design another 2 times onto some stamping cardstock from Crafter's Companion, and I've used the Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 4 different stamped images. I'm going to try 4 different colouring mediums, 2 of which I am familiar with, and then I'm just going to do a comparison. And regardless of the outcome, I'm hopefully going to end up with 4 images which I can at a later date cut out and use as toppers on cards. So I've decided to try watercolour pencils, which I haven't used before. I have watched one short YouTube video on using watercolour pencils, and the technique she uses is to lay the watercolour pencil down first across the whole of the image and to then go in with the paintbrush and pen. So that's the technique I'm going to try, and I'm just going to crack on and see how it ends up. So let's get started. I've taped down my image in readiness for when I apply the water. I've chosen a selection of pencils in the colour range that I want to create, and these are a mixture of Arteza and Boldmere, and Boldmere is a relatively inexpensive brand which they sell at the works. So to start with, I'm going to lay down my coloured pencil. Got my main colours laid down with the pencil. Now I'm going to go in with the paintbrushes. I'll try one flower with the paintbrushes and one flower with one of these water paintbrushes that you can get. Okay, here's the first pass with the watercolour pencils. I'm not sure if I'm using the right brushes, I'm not sure if I'm using the right technique. So far it's not looking too bad. I'm going to set that aside to dry, and now I'm going to move on to the next colouring medium. So for this flower, I'm going to be using the Tricolour by Spectrum Noir Aqua pens, and I've got the Floral Meadow set. I bought these purely because they were on sale and I haven't used them since I bought them. From the one short video that I looked at, the one thing that the lady said was, if you put the pen direct to the paper, you need to work with it quickly with the water, otherwise you can end up getting the pen marks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a couple of flowers by putting the pen to the paper, and then for another flower I'm going to apply the pen to my glass mat and mix it with water that way. And again I shall try both paintbrush and the water pen. So let's get cracking. Okay, I will just say one thing I can see is I have got the pen marks. So I can see where I laid the orange pen down. I'm not liking this at all. I appreciate this is the first time I've done this and there probably is a technique but I don't feel that the colours are actually blending. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the colour directly to my mat, and I'm going to apply it that way. So this is the one where I applied it directly to the paper, and this is the one where I've used the mat. So what I'll do is I will start applying with this petal here. I'll apply it back to the paper, and I will use the watercolor brush. Okay, so I think the fundamental mistake I've made here is I obviously didn't let this section dry before I started this section, and hence I've got the green bleeding. I do seem to have a lot of bleeding with this, so I'm not sure if it's this paper or if it's just my technique, but I'm not a fan of this at all, and obviously I need to go away and do a lot more practice and this particular medium, because this is not at all how I thought it would come out. So I'm not going to spend any more time on that, and I'm going to let that dry and move on to the next. For the next image, I'm going to use my Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend brush markers. And I do use these quite a lot, so I am familiar with how these work together. For the last picture, I'm using Black Widow pencils. These are a wax-based pencil which come in various colour sets. Here's the 4 images side by side. I've got the watercolour pencils, the Spectrum Noir Aqua markers, the Tri-Blends, and the Black Widow pencils. I'm not saying I'm proficient in the techniques of any of these. These two definitely need practice, but it was the first time I've used them. And as far as the alcohol markers and the pencils are concerned, I do what works for me. I could have spent some more time on the blending of the pencils. With the Spectrum Noir pens, I just find the colour choices are not my particular colour choices. I would like a red, and I would like an orange, for example, but we work with what we get. And I do like the fact that you get the light, medium and dark in one pen, so that suddenly does help with the shading. And certainly on the flower here and on the green leaves here, I've got the benefit of that shading. So I think I'll go away, potentially try some more practice on these, or I may just put them back in my paint cart and revisit it again in another few months. So I hope you've enjoyed watching today's video, something a little bit different. Sometimes it's just nice to watch someone else try something for the first time. If you have enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and please hit the notification bell. So until next time, thanks for watching.